I thought this story right here was very interesting when I first came across it. And they say better late than never, but I wish they would have picked up on this way before. So this person's name is Rashad Turner, and he's a former BLM leader, former Black Lives Matter leader, and he basically just recently called out the group on some stuff that us over here have been called them out on. That's why I said it's better late than never, but it might be too little too late. And in one of this quotes that he made was that he said that BLM does not care about black families. I wonder what made him realize that. I'm like, did you go to the website and read it? And here's the thing, not as a huge slight to him, but you were a former leader of BLM. How did you not know that they didn't care about black families? It was literally not displayed on their website for a long time until many people, myself included, called them out on their crap and saying that, they don't have anything up there about the nuclear family. It's basically about them pushing an agenda mainly based in the academy. And they don't really care about black lives. I mean, look at what happened. Look at what's her name, Patrice Cullors. I just saw I forgot what just happened. I think they said she has withdrawn from being one of the leaders of BLM. Of course she's withdrawn because she got what she wanted out of it. And she about to be living on easy street. Hell, she's living on a few easy streets based on all the property she just acquired. But I'm gonna go ahead and read this article from Newsweek and see what else we find out. The founder of a Minnesota Black Lives Matter chapter said he turned his back on the organization because the ugly truth is the group leaders don't care about black families. Hey, like I said, a broke clock is right twice a day, and he's not wrong with his statement. He's a little bit late with it, but he's not wrong. Rashad Turner, who is now executive director of the Minnesota Parent Union, stressed the need for education and helping black families change their lives for the better. Turner, who was the founder of the St. Paul chapter of the group in 2015, said he left just after 2 years when he realized BLM leaders were issuing statements against teachers, unions, and even the nuclear family structure. Turner released a video Wednesday last week that described his falling out with BLM for not caring about improving the quality of education for students across the state. You want to know what's also so crazy? Darren Seals, may God rest his soul, argued some of these same points and then some, and now look, and you saw what happened with him. The only reason why they probably didn't come after him like they did Darren Seals is because Darren Seals pretty much blew the whistle of their organization early on before they could really cement themselves. And they could not afford someone like him who had a strong and powerful voice that could get to the ears of the streets and have people turning on them before they could get a chance to really secure that bag. So with him coming out saying it now, it really doesn't mean nothing because BLM has pretty much planted their flag. Even though many people, let me be honest, that's not going to stop people from calling it out, and it shouldn't. In 2015, I was a founder of Black Lives Matter in St. Paul. I believe the organization stood for exactly what the name implies. Black lives do matter, said Turner, a Minneapolis native who relayed the story of his father being shot and killed when he was 2 years old. However, after a year on the inside, I learned that they have little concern for rebuilding black families. Now, mind you, this is him talking from a couple years ago experience. This is not a recent thing. He did not just leave the organization like this year. He's been left. They say he only did 2 years. So he came in 2015 and left like in 2017. So he's basically talking about his experience, maybe, was it 4 years later? He's just now like speaking out on it. But it makes me wonder, why did he wait till now and not say anything then? He says, and they cared even less about improving the quality of education for students in Minneapolis. That was made clear when they publicly denounced charter schools alongside the teachers union. I was an insider in Black Lives Matter and I learned the ugly truth. The moratorium on charter schools does not support rebuilding the black family, but it does create barriers to a better education for black children. Turner continued in the video, also released by the nonprofit Take Change Minnesota. The official Black Lives Matter website was embroiled in controversy last summer in the wake of George Floyd's death after it scrubbed a statement that denounced the Western prescribed nuclear family structure. Honestly, we found that before that happened. It became more wide known after what happened with George Floyd. I didn't quit, and it's crazy. The only time they really talked about heterosexual black men on that page is when a heterosexual black man ended up deceased because of these terrorists, which was an even bigger slap in the face. I didn't quit working to improve black lives and access to a great education, Turner said in the video. Today, I serve as the president and executive director of the Minnesota Parent Union. We're dedicated to helping parents move their children from failing schools to successful ones. The BLM Global Network Foundation website stated in remarks that has since been deleted that the fight for freedom, liberation, and justice can only occur through the disruption of such family units. Listen to that. That was once on their website. Let me read that again. The fight for freedom, liberation, and justice can only occur through the disruption, more like the destruction, of such family units and embrace of a more village-like black communities. And they put village-like in quotations. They told you on the website what their plan was. It's just a shame that it took many people years later to figure out what that was. And they did all of that off of the bodies of deceased black people, particularly black boys and men. Traditional words for parents like fathers were deliberately avoided and replaced with gender-neutral terms for parents. At last year's Republican National Convention, the former NFL player Jack Brewer warned the conservative audience that the organization openly on their website calls for the destruction of the nuclear family. My fellow Americans, our families need each other. We need black fathers in the homes with their wives and children. Newsweek reached out to Black Lives Matter representative in the Twin Cities for additional reaction or response to Turner comments. And of course, they did not probably receive a response because they can scrub the website all they want. They can put up there whatever to replace it, however they feel like replacing it or doing whatever the case may be. But the fact remains at the end of the day, BLM is a fraud organization. Now, like I've said before in my other videos, and I'm going to say it now. We over here don't like BLM for a particular reason, like the reason why this guy left and some other things. PC doesn't like BLM, and theirs is more more of a racial undertone. Because when they start comparing it to the Klan and stuff like that, then we won't go that far in saying it's like that. Because there's no comparison to the Klan. The Klan is who they are. But that's when they start doing that, and that's their reasoning. But us is more of hit on what he said. They don't talk about the nuclear family. They disregard black men. They pretty much hate them. And it's really agenda based or pushed. And the only time they really highlight black men is when a black man is dead. That's about it. And they founded the organization on the death of on the deceased bodies of black men and boys. But they uplift everyone else, and I do mean everyone else. But when it comes to us, toxic masculinity and all of that other bull crap. So I do, and salute him for actually coming out and saying it. I wish he would have said something sooner, but it's good that you had someone who they said he was on the inside, so he actually got some insight, and he found out rather quickly because he said he only been in for 2 years and left after 2 years. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.